Now, I actually think you guys can do these on your own, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how anyway. These are very similar to the last two problems that we did. So if you want to factor these, we need to figure out what two numbers multiply to a negative 16 add up to a positive 6. Well, if I said 8 and 2, that would be wrong unless I make that 2 negative. So instead of x plus 8 and x minus 2, I realize that's an x to the 4, so I'm just going to make those x squareds. And that's going to take care of it for me. So, since these are equal to 0, I'm going to set each of them equal to 0. X squared plus 8 equals 0, and x squared minus 2 equals 0. I'm going to change the color to make it a little bit better. I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. This is going to be tricky. X squared is equal to negative 8, so I have to square root both sides. Now, negative 8 breaks down. It breaks down into 4 times negative 1 times 2. If I multiply those two numbers, I get this. And the reason I did is because that's the square. So x is going to equal plus or minus, have to start there. The square root of 4 is 2, the square root of negative 1 is I, and the square root of 2 is just the square root of 2. So that's why those are two of my solutions. And then over here, change my color again. I'm going to add 2 to both sides. X squared is equal to 2, and square root both sides. And I get x is equal to, since there's no negative, it's just a plus or minus root 2. No i's involved there. Alright, so this takes you through number 7. And last but not least, let's slide to the right. Alright, so once again, what are two numbers that multiply to negative 30 and add up to negative 1? I would say 6 and 5, but I need to make the 6 negative. So, I'm going to factor, knowing full well that this is an x to the 4th. So x squared minus 6 and x squared plus 5. Okay? Once you do that, you're on a roll. X squared minus 6 equals 0. X squared plus 5 equals 0. We're going to add 6, x squared equals 6, square root both sides, x is equal to plus or minus root 6. Then subtract 5, x squared equals negative 5, take the square root here, we get x is equal to plus or minus. Now since there's a negative here, this is the same thing as negative 1 times 5. The square root of negative 1 is always I. And then leave the root 5 on it because you can't do anything with that. Can't simplify it. That's all done. All right. Thank you very much.